Chuck Long back with Kevin Kennedy here on OpenLine, Ask an Expert. We are asking the legal experts from the Kennedy law firm. Kevin Kennedy heads that law firm. Been in business over 35 years, and there's a reason they've been in business over 35 years. They're among the best at what they do, one of the very best law firms here in the state of Tennessee. So if you have one of those questions or comments that you'd like to make in this next hour, just get on the line with us. You see the number 737-7587. Kevin, I tell you, we've got a lot of folks calling in, and I think one of the things, we often assume certain things, but we don't know certain things.
Yes.
And that can be a real danger when you're dealing with a legal situation.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like what we talked a little bit on the break, a lie detector test. Now, did you realize on a lie detector, they say, okay, Chuck, we want you to take a lie detector test. Well, it's not admissible in court, but they would use it against you in the negotiations. And then here's one of the things I've told police over the years. They said, I want your man to take a lie. I said, well, will the victim, this alleged victim, take a test first? No, they won't play that game. Do you understand? So the rules are different for us being accused as a defendant as them. Well, they could tell a lie just as if they can pass this test, then show us.
Right.
They will never do that game. So then I would never take their test. Now, their test, you know, the real world, are they reliable? You'll be fighting from here to kingdom come cases. You say, well, they're not reliable. They have not been proven reliable enough to be put into evidence, so you can take that for whatever it's worth. I don't want to take one, and I would refuse to do it. Take their test if they were doing something towards me. Or right. Chuck. I'm standing for Chuck. Chuck's not doing it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, let's go to the lines right now. Melanie is on the line with us. Melanie, good evening. Do you have a question or a comment for Kevin?
Yes, I do. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Melanie.
My question's concerning the HOA, Homeowners Association.
Yep.
I live in one that is a homeowner association. Our streets are considered public streets.
Okay.
And we have a new president that says that we can no longer enforce anything that's on the street, like the restricted recreational vehicles or restricted commercial vehicles parking on the streets. She said that if we try to enforce it, even though it's in our CC&Rs, that we can be sued. Do you know if that's true?
Well, what you're confronted with is an interpretation of a contract that you have. You know, contracts are there, and if you ever go to court, then it's up for that judge to interpret what they meant. A good understanding keeps down a misunderstanding. We look at the exact language, but again, you know, people threaten, I'm going to sue you if you do this. It's just their position. So you might entertain a lawyer writing a letter to the homeowner and explaining what your position is and why. You know, and this would be a good one. A lawyer could spend a little money and research what the cases hold. We've seen these letters where they come in and they said, well, pursuant to State versus Chuck Long, this was a precedent and that has not been overturned. I submit to you, this is the same situation. So there you have it. I never yield my position. And remember this, there is a law out there. And they say, well, there's no law in the state of Tennessee. We have that every day. So we go to other states and we maintain the theory under the law is the same. It's against public policy. There is a reason. We were induced to buy this based on these representations. Now now you're changing the rules? Okay, you've got a good argument. That's what I would pursue.
All right. Thanks so much for calling in, Melanie. Kevin, you know, again, kind of piggybacking on Melanie's question, so much construction in Nashville, everywhere you look. If someone's parking on the street and that construction site, they're moving things and, you know, something falls on your car. A mower is mowing and throws a rock at your car. Do you have any recourse?
Sure do. We represent people all the time where we had one that was struck in the eye by a mower and they were just going down the road and the rock went through their window and hit their eye. Yes, so is your actions, are you negligent? You should have known, blow away from the highway, and if you're negligent to the point that you're going to blow toward, you're begging to bring on liability. Then we can bring a claim against the homeowner's insurance. Plus, if those people are commercial mowers, they have an insurance policy. This is a good time for me to tell everybody to get an insurance policy. Yeah, will they deny your claim? Yeah, but it still gives us, the lawyers, something to argue about. And insurance companies are doing this. They're going to say, now, we don't admit liability, but we are going to defend defend this lawsuit, meaning we're going to do it with reservation. Well, okay, if I get them in to defend me on reservation, the odds are we're going to get it settled. If you have no policy, you got no defense, you're on your own. Okay. Talk to your insurance, find out what it covers.
Good to know. All right, going back to the lines right now. Kathy is on the line with us. Kathy, we're glad that you called in. What is your question for Kevin?
Yes, my name is Kathy Richardson. I'm in Clarksville, Tennessee. My son was in the state of Georgia, LaGrange, Georgia. He's indicted on a murder case 3 years ago. And the lawyer said that he...
Kathy, if you turn your volume on your TV down while you're on the call with us, I think that'll help the feedback.
He said you have to cut the TV down.
Yeah.
Okay, Kathy, go ahead.
Yes, he has an indictment. Okay, hold on, sir.
Okay.
Hold on, sir. I'm going to cut it down.
Okay,
I can't get inside to help me. Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you. Go ahead, Kathy.
Oh, yes. My son was indicted in Georgia, LaGrange, Georgia, said he killed a white man for calling him a nigger. And I was just wondering... Okay, I was wondering he'd been indicted, but the discovery shows that nothing points him to the crime scene. He said, cut that down.
Yeah, well, remember this. Anybody can indict people. It goes to a grand jury that you only hear one side of the story. And so you can get indicted, but the real situation is, in the discovery package, defense, if I'm a defendant, Chuck is my lawyer, we have a right to get the evidence from the district attorney and the police. What are you saying that we've done? Show us what proof you've got. So we can, and then we can move to dismiss. And so if it's one word versus another, it's really hard to convict somebody when it's one word against another, because, you know, the burden of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt. Here's the scales of justice. What does that mean? It's a heavy burden. It's got to really go over every element. A skilled lawyer, what do? They punch holes in the state's evidence, meaning when it comes, it won't hold the water. The water just comes, the case collapse. So you're right on the right thing. I would go and try, if it was my family, I'd go meet with that lawyer, try to bring some other good materials in, what kind of life they lived, what kind of character they had, and have an open dialogue with that lawyer. If he said, I can't talk to you about it, get your son to give permission for him to talk to the family, and take a proactive approach, because once you go and he's locked up, you can't do anything. He can do nothing. Only family can help him.
All right. Thanks for the advice, Kevin. And Kathy, thank you for the call.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break right now, but if you do have those legal questions, we encourage you to get on the line with us at 737-7587. You're watching Open Line.